Good evening, good morning, wherever you are. It is August 19th, 2025. My name is Melanie Kiss, and I'm doing an impromptu go live. I told myself I'd do more go lives, but yesterday was my son's birthday, and I decided to completely disconnect. Um, but today, I was not necessarily planning to talk about this particular subject. And I thought it was important to talk about big corporations that people work for, or even government jobs in the public sector, such as nursing or teachers, and really how scary it could be to leave the work that you currently do. Now, I don't really talk about this on my business page. I do talk about it on my profile, my personal profile on any social media. However, in the last 3 days, I've gone very much public on the fact that I work for Air Canada. I've worked for them for 25 years. And I think by now a lot of people know that we were on strike for the last 3 days. And it really brought me a lot of growth in the last 3 days. And this is why. So I've had this online business since 2018, and I've always kind of been propelled to do something else. Because I've never been 100% happy where I am. I love being a flight attendant. I love the people I work with. I love my layovers. I'm completely grateful to have those opportunities. However, I've never liked the company. And I tell you why. Because they infringe on my values. And my values, such as respect, is huge for me. And they have such disrespect towards their employees that it makes it very difficult to be happy. Now, a lot of people say, well, why are you sticking around? Why have you stayed there for so long? Being a flight attendant is really tricky. So it's tricky in the sense that, like many other jobs, you don't know about it until you are in it. Like, I don't know what it's like to be a nurse or a teacher. People that do that job know it best. So, like flight attendants, it's really hard to understand what our job is like unless you are doing it. So, when I first started, you're young, you're in your 20s, you're excited, you're going to travel the world. They tell you in a very general way what your pay is going to be. And you accept it. And back then, it was amazing. And because the cost of living was not as high as today. So in the last 3 days, we've been fighting for just fair wages, right? Fair wages to keep up with cost of living, as well as pay when we're on the ground. We actually do not get paid when everyone's boarding the aircraft. We don't get paid when we're doing our checks, so on and so forth. I'm not going to get into it. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about it. And it got me thinking more so on my business side. It's propelled me to work extremely hard so I could leave on early retirement. Why not leave now? I've invested a lot of years there. I would like to leave with my pension. I would like to leave with some bonuses. And I don't have that many more years. So it's not like I have to still go through, oh my God, another, 25 years of my life to go through this. But this is where it gets tricky for a lot of people, right? They're on that cusp of, I'm going to stick around. And I know even some of our junior flight attendants, they're like, wow, it's so much fun when we're all together, because we don't actually have managers on board with us, right? We hear from them before boarding, we hear from them through communication online, but we don't have them right next to it continuously. So that's why I think so many people stick around for so many years. It also was great. It's gotten worse as far as the in your face disrespect that they have for flight attendants. And you've all heard, right? It was so obvious that they went from the complete lies. Like, I've known this for years that they're continuously lying, they're continuously manipulating, they're abusive, they're narcissistic, they gaslight. And I understand a lot of corporations apparently do this. I can't speak for all the corporations, I'm not there, but from everybody, what they tell me, right? They do this. It's a fear tactic. I've always said that Air Canada, they're not leaders, they're bosses. If they were leaders, they would respect us a lot more. They would respect all their employees, and it would be a better work environment. But is it a very toxic work environment? And so, time goes by and you end up getting really fed up. Hence why I started this online business in 2018. Pandemic hit, many things happened in my life. I had to put it aside for a while. But then the last 4 months, I've been pushing hard to continue to grow it, to be able to leave. And I go back to anyone who might be in that position of big corporations, teachers, nurses, where your pay is dependent on somebody else's decision for you. And that could be great for many, and that's okay. It's fantastic. But for many, when you have that feeling within yourself where you're just tired of letting somebody else dictate what you will make, sometimes that fuel, that's inside of you, that fire is enough to say, okay, that's it. I have to go try to do something else. So I'm 49, I'm going to be 50 in less than 6 months. And I sit here and I go, I still have another, good 40 years of my life. Do I want to just spend it sitting around? Do I want to continue flying? No, I want to do something else. And it is scary. I won't deny it. I understand why people don't take the leap. But you don't need to take the leap by completely leaving what you're doing. It's always important to, have that safety net at first. Of course, I would never say completely leave because I understand that security is very important for many people. However, it's important during that process of growth to learn about who you are and the direction that you want to go and what you've learned about yourself and build that confidence, because confidence does reside within you and you just have to grow a lot more with it. But you're not going to grow unless you try different things, do different things differently, and listen to the heart truths that are going within you, within your mind, within your soul. And I understand many people have many, many responsibilities. I get it. I have 2 teen boys. I have a mortgage. I get all that. But sometimes we need to not just know what our why is and say, oh, okay, that's my why, but to take that why and have that deep feeling attached to it. So it's not the first time that I talk about early retirement, right? To be prepared for early retirement. For me, when I started that, it's because I would see other people retire and then not really being able to retire and it being difficult once you're retired as well. And I just told myself, I never want to be in that position. I want to be able to have choice when that time comes. However, in the last 3 days with the strike, oh man, that feeling that I'm talking about that's attached to my why has multiplied by so much because it is propelling me to move forward with what I know today to be able to get to where I want to go. I want to be able that when my retirement date shows up, then I'm like, thank you very much. Goodbye. Financially, I'm good. And I have that choice. And that's what I want for so many women out there is to have the choice. And then the last 3 days, we've been fighting like crazy because they felt like our choices were not heard and not met. And I don't know about you, but to have that rug taken right underneath your feet and you falling from that height of anger, it's just unacceptable. And I think you've heard a lot of us talk about this, right? And social media has talked about this. How can we in 2025 not be paid while we're at work for fair pay? So, yes, I'm going to fight because I'm fighting for taking on the torch for all the other women in the past who fought for us. And I'm fighting today to be able to pass that torch for any future Canadian worker or unionized worker or any worker who is wanting fair pay. But the other thing that I have to do as well is make hard choices and decide what else can I do. And hence the reason for my Go Live today is that yes, it's good to fight, but it's also great to have another plan in case that fight is extended, in case that fight becomes a loss temporarily. Because I've heard this too. Well, it's the standard. Well, it used to be the standard that women did not vote. Things change, things evolve, we grow. So I invite you to grow, to evolve, to learn, to fight for what is right, and to move forward and to look at your work and life's plan and decide which direction you want to go. Thanks for being here.